you've been smoking too much, and here's what's gonna happen to you. Welcome back, Bad Vibe Warriors. You're with your boy, Honorary Samajavi. And as you can see, the scenery is a little bit different. That's because I'm back home in Clayton, North Carolina. We are on break for like the next about a month. Welcome back to the Real Spill series. This is episode 2. And today we're gonna be talking about that gas, that loud pack.
I know you're still smoking.
What are you talking about? Huey, I told you that was the terrible mistake I made, and I'm never ever gonna do it again.
This is gonna be more of an informational type video. And again, this is all personally my experience. I'm not gonna be trying to tell any of y'all to stop smoking. I'm just gonna let you know what it is for how it is. Before we get into the video, go ahead and dap me up, okay? If you're not subscribed, I don't want to touch you. I'm gonna keep it. I just don't want anything to do with you. Feel me? Now, I love, spreading love. I want to show that love, but I can't do that. If you're not subscribed, you have to join the Bad Vibe Warrior Club. You feel me? I want you to be a part of the fam. It was more of one of them things where like I was hanging out with some friends and they happened to be doing it. And I mean, everyone smokes. Like you almost forget that it's illegal if you're not in a legal state. And I was like, whatever, let's see what happens, right? And the first few times it was like whatever. Honestly, the first time I didn't even feel anything. It wasn't until like the second or third time that I actually started feeling it. And the first few times, like I said, it wasn't really anything to me. Like I mean, it was a great experience. It was really cool. Definitely unlocked a creative portion of my mind. I had an epiphany upon epiphany of what I wanted to do in terms of my creative career. It was great, very great in the beginning. And this was in 2019, early 2019. Now, fast forward to 2020, I just had a lot going on, like many of us. I had a long relationship that ended. My parents got a divorce. I had to deal with some financial issues. I was just kind of struggling with where I wanted to go after high school in terms of college. So I was smoking throughout all of this, and without even realizing it, that is why I think my smoking just became a very bad habit, and it went from just dabbling in it to very, very heavy consumption. I've been smoking since early 2019, so about a little over 3 years now. Like I said in the very beginning, it wasn't all that bad. I might have been smoking once or twice every couple of months or whatever. And then it went from that to smoking damn near every day, honestly. I think during the summer of 2021, it was to the point where I was smoking 2 to 3 times in a day. So it was a lot. Heavy consumption can be defined by smoking very frequently, more than prescripted if you're, you have the letter, the prescription to go ahead and be smoking. So like I said, I was smoking 3 times a day, which is a lot. Now, like I said, it was great at first. There's so many benefits to smoking marijuana. There really is. But it started getting to the point where the bads, the negatives, were outweighing the positives. And it was just that. Okay, so my camera just powered off on me. Sorry if I looked a little zoomed in more. We're just gonna go ahead and get right back into it. For me, I began feeling very paranoid and anxious, and this tended to happen more whenever I would be smoking in new places or with new people. I was with a friend, but this was somewhere that I hadn't been before, and my friend, he started asking me, well, my friend's friend, we're friends now, that friend, but he was asking me all these questions about how long I had been smoking and blah blah, all this stuff. And for some reason I started to feel very anxious. I felt like he was trying to set me up or something, when whole time bro was just trying to get to know me. There'd be times wherever I might be in a public area, and normally I feel like I keep a pretty cool head whenever I'm high, but I started just feeling like everyone knew I was high. I would be looking around and be like,
look at him watching me.
I'd be smelling myself. I'm like, do I smell like it? I got that pack on me. And overall, my judgment just became very clouded. I would be doing some bad things and know that what I'm doing is going to negatively affect my relationship with someone, is negatively going to affect myself or like just the people around me. And I wouldn't care. I'd be like, man, I just like play it down. I'd be like, it's really not that deep. But looking back, I'm like, it might have not been that deep, but like that was the wrong thing to do. That's not something that like a sober Henri would be doing. Someone who cares and values about my relationship with other people and myself at the end of the day would not be doing. I mentioned overspending on food, but oh my God, I've probably spent like close to $2,000, maybe $3,000 on gas in the past few years. Damn! I became very, very lazy and just like unmotivated to do anything. I lost my drive. I would literally smoke, order food, and would just lay down, eating, watching stupid crap that wasn't doing anything for me. I'd be watching like just the dumbest things. And it's not dumb. I'd be watching stuff like Family Guy and The Simpsons, and like, it's entertainment. But like, at the end of the day, how is this helping me get where I'm trying to get? Like, I have dreams, I have my ambitions, I got somewhere that I'm trying to get. Laying in bed every single day of the week, being high and eating, it's not doing anything for me. And then even whenever I was sober, and I would be trying to get motivated back into making content or like being serious about going to go hang out with friends or whatever I like to do, I would just be like, nah, you know what does sound good though? Yeah, this is nice. Like, it wasn't helping me at the end of the day. It really wasn't. It would have been different if I looked at it as more of like a reward thing. Maybe if I had like set up a day where I was just like doing a bunch of things, completing a bunch of tasks, and then at the end of the day, it's like, all right, let me kick it. That's a different thing, but we're gonna get into that later on in the video. Okay, now this one's embarrassing, and this is for all my dudes out there. You know ED, erectile dysfunction?
Does your dick not work?
Yeah!
That's all right,
Oh man!
your dick don't work. That's okay. Take these pills and go do some
Manly shit! Deep sea fishing, off-roading, all with a raging erection.
That happens, and it solely happens. Well, I'm not gonna say it solely happens if, you know, because you're smoking weed, but like, that leads to it. But as time continued, I realized I was lucky having a hard time getting it up, and it was pretty embarrassing. I was like, yo, what am I doing? Like, Shorty laying in bed 3 in the morning and she trying to get it. I'm just kind of like not feeling it. And I know for a fact that smoke, like my obsessive smoking, was the reason as to that, because whenever I chilled out on it, I'd be beating up guts down. I'd just be getting it in. I'm talking like I'm a whore, I'm not. But when I do be doing my thing with a shorty, I be getting it in. Sorry, again, I just had to change my battery in case I look a little bit off frame. But continuing, like I said, it would be affecting my memory, so I couldn't really remember too much stuff. There was one time where my best friend, my girl best friend, she was trying to tell me about how, like, she was like, remember whenever I told you how I lost my virginity? And I had no idea that she even told me that story. Whole time she really did. And like, that's kind of, I want to say like a personal type thing. Like, you know, your best friend just told you the story about how like they lost their virginity and you don't remember that. So I could tell she didn't say anything, but like her facial expression said enough. And I was just like, damn, like I can't be doing that to my best friend. Like, I can't be missing out on important details like that. Like, this is going to affect my relationship, my friendship for real. And one of the biggest reasons is the fact that I would be overthinking a lot. Like, people always be talking about, oh yeah, smoking helps me calm down, it be keeping me cool. Maybe at first, but then it got to the point where I was like, all I'm doing is thinking. And thinking of stupid crap. Like, why am I beating myself up in my head? Why am I being so anxious and paranoid about everything? Why am I talking negatively about people and including myself? I would be so high to the point where I would be in my head and I would lose sight of what's going on in front of me. I would lose sight of the present moment and just completely toss my hopes out the window. I felt like I had no hope for me. But guess what? That's all in the past now, because today I finally got it under control. December 18th, that marked 2 months of being completely sober off gas. And that's like the longest I've gone without smoking in the past 3 years. So that's like, pat on my back for real. Seriously, super proud of myself for that. Now, what I personally did, finally stopped, was I slowly started breaking down the habit. And I mean very, very slow. Like I told you, in the summer of 2021, I was smoking damn near 2-3 times a day. And maybe that next year, it came down to like smoking once every 3 to maybe 5 days in the week, which is a big difference, like from smoking 3 times a day every single day of the week to now I'm smoking maybe like once, maybe twice every 3 to 5 times a day of the week. Still a lot, but you know, it's improvement. And that's all you can be proud of, like as long as you're making progress, regardless of it's slow or fast, regardless of if other people see it or if they don't, you know that you're going somewhere with it. You know, you have to do what's best for you. I wasn't someone who could just give it up immediately and have so many people trying to tell me to, like so many people like, just stop. You don't think that if I wanted to, you don't think I would have done that? It wasn't that easy for me, you feel me? So I had to do what was best for me to get to where I am now, and you have to do the same. And people are like, the right people are going to understand that, and they're going to support you all the way through it. The other thing is setting boundaries. I literally went through my Snapchat, went through my phone. I removed the plugs that I wasn't talking to anymore. I hid the stories and muted all the other plugs that I just like don't want to see their stories, because I know that they're going to be posting gas up on it, and it's like if I see that, I might be tempted to want to smoke. I let my close friends know that I'm really trying to like cool off of it, and they would respect that, and they wouldn't be inviting me to sessions anymore or bringing up the topic, or they even took it to the point where they wouldn't be smoking around me. But I mean, I would let them know, I'm like, bro, now I'm to the point where I'm just like, bro, do your thing. Like I'm not tripping over that.
I don't need it. I don't need it.
Like, oh, let me get some. Like, I'm not gonna do that. I want you to get out a sheet of paper, or if you write it down in your phone and your notes, and ask yourself this question throughout the day. Ask yourself, am I concealing something? Why am I smoking so much? Why do I want to stop smoking? What is it like affecting? You don't have to have the answer right now, but I guarantee you, if you just continue to consistently ask yourself that, it'll eventually come to you. And you can do a lot with that knowledge. Like I said, you don't gotta know right now. All you have to do right now is be asking yourself that question. And that's already more than enough. What really helped me was making a list of triggers in my phone. And surprisingly, I had more positive triggers than negative triggers. So right here, my therapist had me write down a bunch of internal triggers that made me think about smoking. And some of them were being frustrated, feeling guilty, nervous, even whenever I feel confident, maybe if I feel excited, like say we win a game or something, or like, I don't know, like we just won a national championship. Let's go smoke that pack, come on now.
What's up? It's time for smoke. All right, let's roll.
If I'm feeling misunderstood, maybe overwhelmed, tired, lonely, anxious, so many triggers, more than I even thought about. So you can literally just find find a list of all these expressions, all these emotions, and ask yourself, and like try to find a moment. That's what helped me. I try to like visualize a moment. Would this make me want to smoke? And if that emotion makes you think of like just going to smoke, then you know, write that down in your notes. That's the trigger that you can now pay attention to. You got to be aware of like what makes you want to do it in order to actually start making an effort to back up off of it. And lastly, you have to find replacements. So meditating for like 5-10 minutes a day, instead of automatically like just reverting to smoking or going to smoking to like solve an issue, I would just kind of sit and think through everything. And after doing that, I was like, I don't even need to spark up. Like I'm good. I was able to like get through what I needed to get through. And that's what I've been doing now, instead of just like going to go smoke. Other things like physical activities, joining a club sport or a team sport, working out, finding different things to do rather than go smoke. You have to be able to replace it. That's going to help you a lot. And make sure that you have a strong support system. If you have people who know what you're trying to do and they're close to you, they're going to have your back no matter what. They're going to support you and remind you all throughout your journey, and you're going to be able to achieve it a lot easier than on your own. Utilize the people that you have in your life. They're there for a reason. Don't forget that. There's so many people that care about you. Let them care about you. What I'm doing now is, come January 18th, that'll mark 3 months since I last stopped smoking gas. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, am I going to stop smoking completely? Absolutely not. That is not what I'm doing. What I'm trying to do is just get better control of it. And my method is, well, what I've been doing so far is I want to go 3 months without smoking. After that 3rd month finally comes, I allow myself to indulge in it 3 or 4 more times, and then right back to another 3 months of just being sober. Like, I want to turn it into more of like an occasional reward type thing. But first, I have to show myself that I have control over it. 3 months is a big deal, especially for the fact that like I've been smoking heavy for the past 3 years. But it's not enough for me, you feel me? You gotta find what's enough for you. It's gonna be different for everyone. This is what I feel like works for me. So once January 18th comes up, oh, it's up. It's up for a little bit, and then it's right back to being sober and clean. I'm less anxious. My judgment is a lot clearer. I've got my motivation back for making content, and I'm having a big comeback with that. And overall, I just feel so much more sure of myself, and I can now take all my energy that I used to put into smoking into more, what's the word, like important things into my life. I know like eventually I'll get to a point where I can just kick back and smoke like all week if I wanted to. But right now I have a lot that I'm trying to achieve, and like doing that isn't helping me currently. So until I feel like I can just lay back and do that, I'm gonna keep working. I'm gonna keep going, because that's just the type of person I am. The last thing I wanted to talk about was addiction and withdrawals. I don't care what anyone tells you, you can become addicted to smoking weed, and there are definitely withdrawals. I've literally done my research on this. I had to do a whole project for my abnormal psychology class. I have all the notes, all the facts, and on my own case study. I have my own personal experience. I got you. First of all, it's important to know that withdrawals are more common in people who have more heavy use of marijuana. And I've already explained to you what heavy use looks like. And contrary to the popular beliefs that, oh, it's just a little bit of gas, it won't do anything. Yeah, it will. If you keep abusing it, it definitely will. It's gonna whoop that ass. That's what it's gonna do.
It's gonna whoop your ass.
Now, in terms of addiction, any drug that changes your mind can be addictive. Marijuana has no exception. Approximately 9% of people who smoke become addicted to it, especially if you started smoking at a young age. People who start smoking at a young age have a 17% chance of becoming addicted. And for everyone who's smoking daily, you have about a 25 to 50% chance of becoming addicted. In terms of withdrawals, there's been a study that about 47% of daily heavy users experience some form of withdrawals when it comes to marijuana. And you're going to experience some type of physical or mental health symptoms. During withdrawals, you can expect to feel very easily irritated. The slightest thing is going to piss you off. You're going to be a little bit more angry, and things are just going to irritate you a little bit more, because you don't be smoking like you used to. That's one of the symptoms. That's something that I had to deal with. It's like one person might take a shot at me, I throw a grenade back. Following that can be depression and anxiety. If you're trying to quit, you just have to realize that's something that comes with it too. That's a part of the withdrawal symptoms. Personally, I don't think I felt anxious. I would say that I had maybe like a very, very acute depression. Like I would get sad out of nowhere for a little bit, but I'd always be able to, like, I've built up my mind to a very positive and self-development state right now, to the point where I can just like snap out of it and kind of climb out of this hole of depression before it gets too bad. Insomnia and trouble sleeping is another symptom that you might experience. That was my biggest issue for a long time. I started getting to a point where I would be smoking at night to try to like help me sleep, but as I was trying to quit, I couldn't sleep at night. And even when I would be able to fall asleep, it wouldn't be for very long. I would be like waking up randomly a couple times throughout the night, and it would just be ruining my sleep, honestly. And somehow I still was able to wake up early. I don't know how I do. I must be a superhero or something.
I'm Batman.
You could experience a change in your weight or your appetite. I know that that's something that happened to me. Like whenever I stopped smoking, I just wasn't as hungry as I used to be. I wouldn't want to even eat, honestly. And because of that, I was losing weight. But today, that's definitely changed. Oh, I'm gonna eat with my fat ass. I eat 2 horses and a hippopotamus. You could experience headaches and body pains. You may even feel nauseous, stomach pains. Some people even experience sweating. And last but not least, and the most strangest, would have to be the very weird, unsettling, vivid dreams that you will get. Now, the withdrawal timeline looks like this. After about a day or two is when you'll start to feel these withdrawals appearing. So you will notice you may be getting irritated, or you may be feeling a little bit upset. You may start feeling some body pains or having weird dreams. But this is where most of the symptoms start appearing. After 2 to 6 days is when I want to say they're the most severe. So you will be feeling it. You will know for sure that you are going through withdrawals after about a week. You will just be feeling it throughout your body and you will know it. And I'm not saying this to scare anyone. Again, this is going to affect everyone differently. You may not even feel withdrawals. You might even just feel one thing. Like you could just be sweating and that's it. And finally, after 3 weeks, most symptoms should be at an acute level by now, so you really shouldn't be feeling too many of it. There have been cases where even up to 7 weeks, people are still feeling a very slight bit of the symptoms. I know that after about even my 8th week, I was still having very vivid dreams every now and then. Like maybe once or twice in a week, I would have like a very weird dream, but that would be about it. One method to quitting that I forgot to mention is going cold turkey, which I've tried a couple times, but didn't do it very successfully. Going cold turkey is basically just completely stopping to smoke, which is very tough. And if you're going to go with this method, I very strongly suggest, even if you're not going with this method, you need to have a strong outline plan. Have a long-term plan as to why you want to stop smoking. What is the reason? Like, how is it going to affect your life if you stop smoking? So that's at the end of the finish line. That's the end goal, why you're going to stop smoking. And you got to be able to refer to that, keep thinking about it. But then you want to also have short-term goals that help you snap out of any cravings, any urges that you might get to want to spark up. So remember to do this. Just write this down on a note, just so you know like your long-term goal as to why you want to stop. But then you also have to have those little small checkpoints to refrain you from, you know, reverting to whatever you would be doing, whatever it was that would cause you to smoke. You feel me? Going cold turkey is not for the weak. It is not for the weak. It's very tough. And like I said, I've tried multiple times, but after about maybe 3 or 4 days, I'd be like, hey, I'm pretty proud of myself. You know, 3-4 days, right back into the hole. If you're not trying to do it that method, I really suggest that you, again, long-term goals, short-term checkpoint goals, and you just want to slowly cut it out of your system, whatever that may look for you. Whether it's like you're smoking every day to now you want to just smoke half a blunt, half a joint, a roach in a day, or if that's like, okay, maybe I'll just like smoke once or twice a week. Whatever works for you. You have to do what's best for you at the end of the day, no one else. I wanted to create this video to help all of you who are struggling, who are wanting to quit, who don't know who to turn to. If you're new to my channel, stick around because that's what I'm gonna be here for. All my real spills at the end of the day are all made to try to help you, change you, help motivate you, inspire you in some way, shape, or form. That's what I wanna do. I wanna be able to help people for real through my own journey, through my own experience, and hopefully in return, you guys can all just help me too. Like, you know, this is a mutual relationship. I'm helping you, you're helping me. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to be that big brother for you right now. Thank you for tuning in to my 2nd episode of Real Spill. I greatly appreciate your support, your likes, your subscribing, and let me know what you want to see in the next video. Like, I really enjoy doing the Real Spills. So if there's any topic that you want me to advise you on, to give my own personal journey and experience with, I have no issue with it. Matter of fact, that helps me create better content, so I know what you guys are looking for, so I know what my audience wants out of me, and I can do that for you. Let me know if there's anything that you're related to in this video. Is anyone smoking right now and you experience any of these negative things that I talked about? Has anyone quit and you had to deal with any of these withdrawals? I know there's probably a lot of people who had to deal with like the weird dreams, because I hear about that a lot, but let me know in the comments below. Again, make sure that you subscribe for more real spills, for more vlogs coming, for more just lifestyle type videos. There's a lot coming to my channel, all based around me, all trying to make people laugh, make people smile, entertainment for you, and at the end of the day, inspiration and motivation, because that's what I want you to think about when you think Henri Samajabi. Thank you for tuning into my video. I hope that you have a lovely day, night, wherever you are, and you got this. That's what happens when you press subscribe. You become a bad vibe warrior. And to become a warrior means to be able to fight through your emotions, never back down, and even if you fall, having the strength to get right back up and keep on pushing forward. That's what it means to be a bad vibe warrior. Welcome to the family. Have a great rest of your day, night, wherever you are. I love you. Continue to be great. Deuces.